Okay, we're gonna see if we're rolling here. What we're gonna be doing today, if we're rolling, is managing the portfolio. We got quite a few trades on today, um, and yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I got a couple that are causing me some trouble. Nothing to do quite yet, but we might have to be doing something on those pretty soon. Okay, so the first one that we have on here, and let me pull over my positions, and these are actually live positions, guys. These are what I am actively trading. Um, so let me just filter this to all my accounts and just my options position. Okay, so let me drag this over, make sure we can see it. All right, so positions we got on. We have two puts that we sold in Micron. I sold the July 2nd 800 put. That expires on Friday. That's doing great. I'm up $132 on that. I put that on Friday. I was just playing the bullish case in Micron. I think there's going to be some profit taking, but I think the fundamentals and the earnings call was so good that this thing it's not going to sell off hard. That's my gut feeling. Also, the July 31st 550 put. This was a trade that came from the comments of my earnings recap. One of the guys out there said, "Hey, this is a good trade." I took it. So I sold the 550 put out to July 31st for 575. Okay, we're up $227 on that, so $365 on these Micron puts. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, but for right now, I think I'm gonna just let this July 1 expire, and we'll see if any premium gets sucked out of Micron here in the next couple weeks, and maybe I take this one off early because it does use up a significant amount of buying power. So for now, Micron is staying still. Next is the AMD strangle. I just released a video on this trade, guys. This is still an active trade that you can take if you want. So the AMD is a 750, 350 strangle. I collected $7.75 on this one. So let's look at it. I'm on the 4 hour. Let me go to the daily. So here's the trade: 750 to the call, 350 to the put. Again, this doesn't even cross earnings. Okay, AMD reports in August. This is a July 31st play, but the IV is so elevated, you're just getting a ton of premium here. Okay, the IV is still at 102.2. When I put it on, it was at 103.5. So the IV's come down 1 point since Friday. That's not a lot. It's got earnings on August 4th. So I went out to July 31st. I didn't want to play it over earnings, but guys, look at this. Look at this. You can go out one standard deviation, you're getting $6 or $7. I went all the way on to this 350, which is a 4 delta, and I'm still collecting, $2.50 ish, 240 for the put. On the call side, I went up to 750, which is right here at a 9 delta, and you still can collect $4.50 for this. Okay, so I mean, yeah, I know these names can move a lot, but one thing I did like about the chart is the put was below the gap. So if for some reason we get some pressure to fill the gap, you know, we are slightly below or right at the gap. And then as far as to the upside, I mean, gosh, I don't even know if I got any Fibonacci lines that go that far, but we can try. We can go here to here. Nope. See, we're at the 4.236 right now. Is at 514. So like, there's really not even much else we can do on here. We can look at this one. So if we go from this swing way back in 2024 at 228 and go to the 76 low, we can see we get a Fibonacci extension up to 706, which is below 750. So that could provide some resistance. Let me see here, the 1618 extension to the upside. Nope, I didn't put that in there. So guys, that's why I put this trade on. It just seems like a huge range, and I was fine with the risk on this. It does take a lot of buying power. This one takes 26,000 of buying power, but high probability. And if you analyze the profit out, it's like 24% annualized profits, which is a good trade. Next, what do we got? We got our Intel put. So I sold a put in Intel, almost up my price target, for this is 50 bucks. I sold the put for $1.55. So we can open this up and look at that. 155 right here. So let's go look at, why is this not closing? There we go. Let's go look at Intel. So I sold the 100 put. Let me go back out to the, I like to look at the 4 hour. Right here, I sold it on these swing low, and let's see what the expiration on that was. We're doing pretty good in this trade. It's a July expiration, so it's only like not very many days out. Let's go see what the July expiration is. 18 days out. I sold this last week. So we're at $43. Like I said, my target is to make $50 on this trade. We're $7 away. If the IV gets sucked out a little more, and the IV, oh, I didn't write it down. Damn it. I usually always write down the IV because I like to keep track once it starts coming down, but it's still at 90. IV is still at a 90. So hopefully we see this start come down a little bit and we'll be able to exit that trade. Also, we put it on before earnings. So we just say Intel's not going to crack $100 before earnings. Pretty high probability trade. Let's see what the delta is on that right now. We're still sitting at an 8 delta. So 92% chance. We'll take that all day. Disney, we're not even going to look at that. I put this on for my kids so I can teach them about options. So we don't even need to look at that one. Cisco, I have a strangle on Cisco. It is 130, 100. And I sold it for $2.45. So let's go take a look at Cisco. So here's the range, 130. It's almost at the very tippy top. So in order to be breached to the upside, we have to break 2 new all-time highs. And again, this is the same type of thing as AMD, guys. I use the structure of the chart to pick my strikes, where I picked the strike below the gap fill, just in case it wanted to come test and fill this gap. Okay, so Cisco, we collected 245. My goal is to make 50 bucks. We are up $23 in like 2 days. So hopefully we close this out in the next couple days. ON, I just put this trade on today. Okay, ON. 110.70 strangle expiring in July. ON Semiconductor dropped almost 24% on Friday because they announced an acquisition of, let me see the company, Synaptics, right? $7 billion all stock acquisition. Stock dropped 24%. So if we pull open the chart for ON Semiconductor, it's right here, man. It went from way up here, you know, it's like 120, boom, all the way down to 90 bucks. So what I did is I went to July, again, 2-week trade, because the premium and the volatility was so high. Like we're at a 94.6. We were able to go 70 and 110. So we're at a 13 delta and an 8 delta, and we were able to collect $1.69. I think I collected $1.72. So high probability trade, a lot of volatility because of that that buyout news that came out. Stock dropped 24%. So based on the chart, what I did is I sold this 110 right at the bottom of these swing lows, where I thought maybe it tries to get back up to, and then the 70, right? We come down, we see this breakout that happened right here at 73.80, along with this swing high back from February of 2026. So that's where I sold the put at 70. So I think this will be a pretty good trade. If that IV, if they digest this news, see, look, it dropped right down to this gap up. That's why I kind of like these, finding these gaps on the chart. It's a natural floor in the stock, and that's where we sold the put. Okay, let's see here. Akamai put, sold that 105. What's Akamai doing? Still where we were. We're about $8 from the strike. So this one is still okay. 2 weeks left in the trade. If we got to roll it down, we will, but we're just going to hold on tight to this one and see what happens. Our strike's not breached. Yeah, we have some unrealized losses, but big deal. Okay, this is how it goes. And then Rocket Lab, that one's giving me some trouble. Okay, I don't know why I got into this one in the first place, but I have a 75 100 strangle on Rocket Lab, and it Friday there was some news that they got 3 deals from NASA, and we saw this pop in the stock. Dang it. But you can't predict those things. So right now, our strike's not breached. So right now we do nothing. Okay, as long as we're below this strike, we do nothing. I mean, we could try flatten out our deltas. That is one option. But until this candle gets right up next to or breaches our strike, the only thing we can do is move our put around, right? Maybe we can slide the put up, maybe to 85 or whatever. But for right now, because the call is not breached, we do nothing. We sit and watch it. We hope for a pullback. And once we get up and breached, then we start rolling the put up. And then when we get closer to expiration, we roll out in time. We don't want to let it get too far away from us. If it starts getting too far away from us, we might have to cut our losses, or we'd have to go out in time and play this thing over earnings and make a game time decision then. So Rocket Lab right now, feeling some heat, but nothing we can do about this one. And then my Apple strangle. I'm down $100 on Apple. This was a whoops. I was trading this on Friday and forgot to take it off. I was just trying to do a little scalp. But this one is also not out of the money. So I got a 285, 250 strangle. So here's the strike, 285. We're feeling a little bit of heat, but here's the deal. This big drop is because Apple announced increases in all their prices. Okay, and people didn't like that. So I think we're going to see a little bit. I think this is going to get tested. Let me go to the daily. Okay, I think we're going to come back down to this 100 day at 276. I hope so, right? But that was the thesis, is that this move down was not an overreaction. It was, oh crap. And sure, this bounce right here, a lot of times stocks will bounce off the 100. I probably should have waited, but I didn't. They'll bounce off the 100, but it looks like it's coming right back down. Hopefully hit that 276 and maybe play around in between the 100 and the 200-day moving average. All right, guys, so that is a quick live stream here on the portfolio management. Let me know in the comments if you run across this, if you want to break down anything else, and if you want me to look at one of your positions. Go ahead and drop it in the comments. We'll take a look, and maybe we'll do a quick video trade analysis on it and post it up on the channel. Okay, this is Luke with the Option Bomb. This is not financial advice. We'll see you in the next one.